I'm Verna McKay. Happy Christmas Eve, if no one has said that to you. I'm in the studio right now with Steve Skiles.
Correct.
Hello, Steve, of
Hi.
Peaceful Reflections right here in Santa Clarita. Now, Steve is the owner of Peaceful Reflections. We know it's Christmas Eve, and you know what? This might be a little weird to be talking about this, but you know what? Death comes every day.
That's right.
It doesn't stop for the holidays.
No, it definitely does not do that.
And it's always better to be prepared for, what's going to happen as compared to, just all of a sudden it happens and you don't have any plans.
Most certainly. Not only just, you don't necessarily have to be prepared, but at least have an idea of what it is you wish to have done or what it is that needs to be done so that it makes it a little bit easier for those who are surviving or even with the hustle and bustle of everything that goes on.
So your loved ones know what you wanted.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah, that's really tough because, I've asked my mother, of course, I know my mother does not want to be cremated. And she said this over and over, and I do.
Exactly.
And
that happens a lot.
Right.
And so a lot of people, they impose their own personal opinion into it if they haven't discussed it in advance or made any type of arrangements. So it's important that you talk with your loved ones about what it is you wish to have done, because there is a wide variety.
Peaceful Reflections is it's a crematorium. How do you say that?
Correct. We're a cremation service.
Cremation service.
Right.
How do you say that? What is the correct way of putting that?
Cremation service is the politically correct way of saying that.
All right.
And that's all we do basically is cremation. It's more affordable.
Much more affordable.
Yes, as compared to having a funeral and having burial plots and everything. And it also gives families, especially like now during the holidays, it helps them to slow down and not feel the extra added stress involved with putting together a funeral and services and everything. Somebody passes away, you get the cremation and everything taken care of. You take possession of your loved one. They go home once the cremation is complete.
And you can take them with you wherever you go.
Exactly.
If that's their wishes, because some people, would like to be sprinkled, although I don't think that's legal, so you have to do it like on the sly.
Well, it just depends upon where and the circumstances. For example, here in California, you cannot be scattered over any inland bodies of land and or water unless you own the property or have the express written permission of the property owner.
Wow. Okay, so what if you want it to be sprinkled in the ocean?
That can be arranged. There are a lot of services that will do it because that's not an inland body of land.
Okay.
So
I know that, but I'm just saying, I'm thinking
water.
There's water to sell.
Yeah, you could definitely, but you couldn't be sprinkled or scattered into a river or stream that leads to the ocean because that's inland.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. See, geography was not my best subject.
That's
History
okay. Mine
was.
either. I learned more doing this.
Wouldn't that be a geography thing? Yes, it would. Mm-hmm. So, okay, now I know that caskets are so expensive. Yes. A friend of mine's mother just passed away, and she, they did the whole big funeral thing. It was outrageously priced.
Well, your typical funeral.
It was like more than a wedding sometimes.
That it can definitely be. You could afford to buy a new car with it.
A new car, exactly. What is the difference in if we do the cremation?
Direct cremation through our service is $895.
Wow, that's affordable.
All inclusive. And what I mean by all inclusive is at the time of passing, when your loved one passes away, I will have a driver or drivers if it's in a home. One or two of them come out to the home, pick up your loved one, bring them into our care. They're refrigerated at our care center right here in Canyon Country until the actual cremation can take place. Meanwhile, we work with the family getting the necessary documents signed. We work with the doctor to get the medical information for the death certificate. Once the state approves the certificate, we make sure that the doctor signs it, attests it accordingly, and then we process all the paperwork along with the permits with the county registrar's office. They'll issue the permit for the cremation. We perform the actual cremation. Then we place your loved one into a heavy-duty plastic urn, and that's included so that they can go home.
Okay.
There's no extra fees. It doesn't matter to us if somebody passes away at 1 o'clock in the morning on a holiday. One of my big pet peeves is how a lot of places they'll add on fees for this and that, and they're things that you can't avoid. I mean, people don't make appointments to pass away, so I don't feel that they should be penalized for that.
Oh, that's nice. That's
Yeah,
nice.
so-
Now, what about like if someone didn't want the plastic urn? Can they go up in price to get something nicer?
Most
Do you-
certainly. We have a wide variety of
Okay.
urns available if they wish to purchase an urn, and it can all be found on our website as well. We also have catalogs available. So it just depends
What is
upon
your website?
peacefulreflections.net.
peacefulreflections.net,
Yes.
not .com. Wonder what you get if you go with .com.
Yeah, if you go to .com, you end up with a company that sells pictures
Okay.
of outdoors.
Well, there you go. Both of those things can kind of go together.
Yes.
That's great. That's great. So really, you could keep, the cost down under $1,000.
Oh, most
that's
definitely.
amazing.
Most definitely. I very seldom have any family that will spend more than $1,000 for, and that's even if they upgrade an urn.
Right.
The typical urns that we have that are the most popular, are right around $190. So they're right around $1,000 for everything, and it makes it so much more convenient because then they have their
Really
loved one
does.
at home, and then when it's a better time for everybody to get together.
Right, to have the memorial service.
Correct.
Exactly.
Yeah, and people aren't rushing, and
No.
they're not dealing with the stress of airlines and traffic, and it's.
I never even thought about that part of the funerals. Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Because when somebody passes away and you have a funeral, everybody flies in, they drive in. You got to have everything done really quick, and it's not, I don't want to say it's an inconvenience, but it's hard on more than just you at that point.
Right.
Because nobody really wants to miss it if they wanted to go to it.
Yeah.
So by doing it this way, it gives you that opportunity. And the way things are nowadays, you can have a service just about anywhere. I mean, you go to the person's favorite restaurant and rent a room, and everybody gathers there and has a nice meal and does a toast on behalf
That's
of their loved
wonderful.
one.
That's such a nice idea.
Or one of their favorite places, like maybe even the Moose Lodge or the VFW or something like that, or even a clubhouse, someplace that they like going to.
Right.
That way, it's more personal as compared to going to a room that looks like every other mortuary you go to, and you walk in, you have
And it's
pews,
very,
you sit there
very
sullen.
quiet, and everybody's, yeah.
And that's the thing.
Whereas it should be a celebration of their life, too.
Exactly. It's you don't want to mourn their passing in that aspect. Yes, you're going to feel sorry. You're going to feel sad.
You're definitely going to mourn, but you got to have that couple of moments where you celebrate their life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you want to remember the fun things, the fond things. Oh, Dad was a great guy. I remember the time he took me out to the ball game. Things like that. Or we went to the beach, or we went out on this vacation.
Right.
Those are the things you want to remember. The things that make you happy, that instill in you what they were really like.
Right. Absolutely. Steve, thank you so much for stopping by.
It's my pleasure.
peacefulreflections.net.